What's up, guys? It's Chris, and yeah, welcome to VHP Engines. So if you were watching social media the last couple of days, my social media, to be exact, you'd see that last night was pretty fucking eventful for me, man. A lot of cool shit happened, and it kind of tied in with some other things. It's just like a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about, and because the type of video this is, I was debating on throwing this on Facebook and making this like a Facebook post, but two things. Like, I don't want to make this too long, but at the same time too, I think that I might run too long to be on Facebook, and that even if it doesn't, I would like to, you know, get a hold of, like, reach out to more people, just share with more people. And I think my viewership on fucking Facebook is probably like maybe like 100 compared to maybe 200 or 300 that I get. Just double the views, triple. So might as well film it. Fuck's sake. Film, record. All right, so to get to it. All right, so like I said the other day, I went to go get that A2 crank, right? And I've talked to someone about getting my Tron pistons. I talked to Jesse. Jesse's gonna reach out to the guy, and I'm gonna use him, go through Jesse to get my pistons for the K20. So here's another kick in the ass thing. Fucking sure enough, I make a commitment to a $500 commitment to buying this crank in this fucking bare block, and sure as shit, a fucking a full long block pops up for $600. Hey man. It's tempting to just go and fucking make the road trip and buy it. I'm not even sure exactly where that's at. Hudson, Florida. So maybe I can multitask a little bit here. Nah, fucking, I'm not going to try to reach around the damn stand. I'll just look it up later to see exactly where it's at. But, so, I was going to say, you know, a couple months ago I was talking to you guys about being broke as fuck and projects taking forever because I was broke as fuck. And now the famine, the drought is ending, so money is starting to flow back in. The last couple months has been consistently coming in faster. Now, I'm not doing the responsible thing and saving money because I've got an obligation to my shells. I'm gonna finish these fucking projects. It's gonna happen. I'll make a savings account later. Right at this point, you know, the money's starting to flow back in. Our debts are. I got $50 for my tool bill, and I'm wiping that out this Friday or tomorrow, I guess, and that's gonna be done. And my wife's got $200 left. She has to finish to pay off her shit, and she's paying that off this weekend. And we are golden. We don't owe nobody no money. And on top of that, I just got a little bit of a raise for an annual raise that you know, about 50 cents. So there's that, and then I'm making the $3 raise, possibly $3.50. Coming up in December 1st once the new shift starts. So the money is starting to come in, and I'm getting an increase of workflow and all that good stuff. So I'm definitely going to be going out to finish projects now. I talked about what engines I'm going to be building and all that stuff, and what parts I'm going to buy when. The reason why I say I'm excited is because, you know, big news for the Integra. Now, I said I was going to have everything to make the Integra run, and that is the case, you know, except for the starter. I have everything to make the Integra run. Turn it on, it runs. But I don't have everything I need to make the Integra drive. Now, when I went to go meet this guy for the block and the crank, and turns out that he is the hidden partner of the Honda Parts Depot that Kyle Darmody used to run a couple of years back. And he still has a lot of parts left over, and he's still acquiring parts, you know, at his personal place. He's got a big-ass chunk of fucking property, right, and a big inventory of parts. So, you know, get to talking, and he's parting out an Integra, his Integra part now. And at first I was like, oh, okay, Integra part. And I was like, well, fuck, you know what, let me see if he's got the rest of the shit that I need. He's got a full-size radiator for the Integra. I might go with a half-size for the Civic, I don't know. But anyway, I got a quote for $40 for the radiator. I'm not gonna bitch about that. He got some axles for the B series axles, $50 for that. Okay, that's good too. And then $60 for the starter. Now that's about $20 more than I'd like to pay, but at the same time, can't complain. And we can do it as a bundle. Maybe he'll hook it up, cause you know, I'm still gonna buy the block for $250. You know, it's fucking expensive, man. But the way I figured it, I don't want to have an extra crank laying around, because I have fuck tons of B16 cranks that I can't get rid of. So I don't want to have a bunch of A3 cranks that I can't get rid of and then have to go look for an A3 block. You know, I just don't want to deal with that. So I figured I'd just go ahead and spend the extra money and get the fucking block. Now at the same time too, you know, and another block just popped up, a bear block with a friend of mine. You know, I've mentioned on here before, Alex Tomlinson. He's selling a fucking sleeved 88 millimeter K20 Z3 block with the pistons. So I'm like, fuck, you know, there's that. And it's not a bad price. I'd like to buy that. So I might be buying a sleeve block. If he's still sitting on it and knowing South Florida sales, he might be sitting on it in like 3 or 4 weeks. If he is, I'm going to buy that. Don't know what I'm going to do with it except make all the horsepowers in the world. But I like to buy it and stash it. I'm going to stay on pump gas for this RSX. So I'm not. I don't. That's why I didn't buy that sleeve block to begin with, because I knew it was for sale before I committed to buying this A2 block. It's kind of expensive, not super expensive for what it is, but expensive compared to what I need to spend. I'm not going to use it. I don't want to do what I'm doing with the Nippon CSS build, where I have a CSS block that I'm not going to be milking the power out of because of Nippon racing pistons. Now, 500 horsepower, if I get it out of it, that still makes me very happy. So that's nothing to laugh at. But nowadays, everybody's making like 700, so it's like, are you really making 500? Who gives a shit? Okay, so I'm 6 minutes in and I haven't really talked about what I really wanted to talk about. So I guess that being that the whole YouTube scare in eBay, the whole YouTube thing in eBay is now like, oh man, it's got me fucking thinking. Now I'm talking to a dude when I was buying the parts off of him, and he's saying he sells a lot of shit on eBay. He says, but don't sell big items on eBay. You get fucked on big items. Sell cheap little shit that's cheap. Because you sell big, expensive items, and then you can get scammed. And then when you're the seller, PayPal and eBay fuck the seller, and they help the buyers. He said, he was telling me what happened. He sent the head, a B16 head. He sold to this dude. The dude got the head, claimed that it wasn't as described, sent back a different head that was in pieces, that was fucked up, and he had to pay the guy his money anyway. He had to refund the money anyway, and the dude kept the head. And on top of that, he had to pay for return shipping. So he got asked out of a head in like $500. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm about to start selling these engine blocks, these short blocks on here for like $1,000 a pop. And then I'm thinking, what if I have to refund that, man, that's gonna fuck me nasty. That's gonna fuck me really bad, because I definitely don't have $1,000 to be just fucking throwing back at somebody. And if I get $1,000 off somebody from eBay, I'm definitely spending that on more parts or a car. So that's the nature of the beast on that one. So now how that rolls into combination with the YouTube scares the other day is that YouTube got shut down for like an hour or whatever. And it's not a big deal. I didn't even know. I caught the YouTube shutdown on the tail end of it because I was at work, so I just periodically update my channel to see subscriber growth, view count, and notifications and whatnot. So I tried to renew it, and it wasn't there, and I was like, holy shit, what happened? Did I fuck up and call too many people cunts and they shut me down and they didn't tell me and they give me a warning? I don't know. So I have a wife try, and my wife couldn't get on either, and then later on I found out through Facebook that it was fucked up. But then, of course, like I mentioned before, like I watched Philip DeFranco, and I was watching Philly D, and he was saying that that's, another reason for you to spread out beyond YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, dude, YouTube is the only place that you guys really see me at, besides, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. But that's a small following that I have there, and that's not my main platform. The whole platform for me is sharing videos. So that makes me think, like, holy fuck, that's a good point. If something were to happen to me, if I get Alex Jones'd and YouTube decides to shut me down or whatever, I'm fucked. I got no way to contact my audience anymore, and I don't like that. Plus, I like making videos, so that would fucking suck if anything were to happen on YouTube. So it kind of makes me really want to push for a website, a place for my home, a home for me, where I'll still do the YouTube thing, of course. That'll be my main source, but something I can fall back on if I need to. And then the second thing would be, like, for selling stuff, I'd like to be able to sell. And, of course, I'm not trying to say that I don't want to use eBay because I want to duck my buyers. That's not what it is at all. If you buy an engine from me and you keep in contact with me the whole time, and you come all the way up to your startup, and you have your first startup and you got a fucking problem, I have no problems. I want to help you. I want to take care of this. I want to make it right. I would like a chance to fix it if I could, and if I can't fix it and I determine that it's a problem that I made, then I would refund the money and take the goddamn engine back. That's not a problem. You know, plus there's the problem that if I sell them to an anonymous buyer, there's, you know, I want feedback. Feedback helps me right now. I'm in fledgling mode right now. I was establishing myself here before I left with the single cams I was building, and you know, people were starting to come to me to buy single cams. But now the people who are coming back to me are people who want to buy very cheap rebuilt engines that are stock, and I do not want to build stock engines anytime soon. I need to build engines for performance, so that way I can show the numbers and people will come to me for that. And then if I want, I can dial it back down and build cheaper, you know, stock blocks, and that's not a problem. But I want to be able to build a base. Now, I've mentioned before too that I haven't started advertising full blast on Facebook or whatnot. I'm trying to stay low key. So what I'm thinking about doing is now I'm pulling back on my idea of selling on eBay, and I'm going to do something I didn't really want to do, and that's stockpile short blocks. So I'm going to continue on and buying the parts I want to buy, and I'm going to build these engines. But I'm not going to be in a rush to sell them. The guys, these engines will be sitting here. If you want to buy them, then fucking awesome. If not, then I'm just going to stack them up until I have like 5 or 6, and then I'll try and sell them. And then I'll just go on Facebook and push them out there. But I would very much like to have a website where I can have inventory on stock for you to go and buy there, or, you know, a place where I can make videos as well. My problem is I don't fucking know how to do that. So I'm pretty sure I can figure out how to make a website or get a website domain if I really push for it. But this is me asking for help for you guys. So any of you techie fuckers out there who know this kind of shit, definitely hit me up. Another thing is like Teespring and stuff. I get asked about merchandise all the time. Stickers, you know, decals and shirts. I would very much like to make decals and shirts. But my problem is making the shirts, you know, going to these generic websites like Teespring or whatnot, that, you know, you get a piece of the profit for them to make your shirts that you design. I don't know how to get the designs on the fucking shirts. I don't know how these assholes are out there designing these shirts. I tried to use the upload picture or whatever on the basic shit with just my fucking logo, and it didn't look right. It looked retarded. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing wrong there. I don't know. That's the only reason why. And then I've tried to make those Teespring shirts, and I'm not sure if it's just like a generic overlay, and then like the actual finished product will be different. But there's a minimum amount that you have to buy. People have to buy like at least 20 of them for Teespring to even make them and send them out. And every time I've tried to do that before with Teespring, then I've got like 3 people that make reserves, 2 people that make reserves, and the order never gets finished, so it never goes out. So I have people all the time telling me they'll buy merch, but every time I try to make the attempt to make it, it doesn't happen. So for me to make merchandise at this point and not use Teespring or something like that, which is what I'd honestly prefer to do, I would have to buy the shirts myself and then go out. So I'd pay for the fucking shirts and then pay some asshole to make the design. And then you know, sell them as you guys ask for them. And I would have to have multiple sizes. That's just something I can't do. And I can't do onesies and twosies. You know, you guys, this guy asked for a shirt, that guy asked for a shirt, and then I'm going to the company and I'm like, hey, make 5 shirts. It's not sufficient. So maybe doing a website or like something like that, or maybe again, one of you assholes can help me and I can figure this stuff out, and maybe we can, you know, try and get merchandise done. But my problem is from all this stuff is I have to come out of pocket to do all of this. So I have to spend my money first to be able to give to you guys to be able to buy anything. Same thing with these engines. These engines are gonna cost me a lot of money, and I'm happy for it because I'm happy to be building again. But I'm also gonna be finishing my projects. I have to finish my projects. I'm gonna be finishing the Integra very soon now, and gonna be working on the RSX at the same time. So on top of working on 2 cars simultaneously, I'm also gonna be building engines on the side. So it's a lot of shit that I have on my plate, but I think I can get a lot of it done, you know, in a fairly quick order, or at least buy a lot of the stuff I need to get it done. So there's that. I was gonna say also, damn, I don't want to fucking forget something and be like, oh yeah, and then this is something I forgot to mention to say. Yeah, so I guess, you know, maybe, I don't know really too much details on the Patreon. I think the main thing that's stopped me from doing a website so far is because I don't want to fucking go to one of these generic places and I have to pay like a monthly fee for people not to engage. You know, that would fucking suck. You know, it's the same thing like getting you guys to follow on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter or whatnot. Nobody follows me on Twitter, but that's okay because I follow 100% MMA shit there. So if none of the car guys follow me, it's okay because everything I'll go to Twitter for is MMA. Instagram is cool, you know, I'm pretty active. Snapchat, you know, I used to be really active. Now I'm like hit or miss, like every once in a while. And Facebook, you know, I probably the secondary source where I am the most active, trying to keep in touch with you guys. So yeah, I guess the whole main thing about this making this video was the saying that I really want to get a website. Oh shit, I really want to get a website up, and I really would like to get merchandise, but I haven't figured out how to tackle that fucking problem yet. So I'm definitely down to take advice on anything from that there, whatnots. And the last thing I wanted to mention, I forgot. The dude has a big ass chunk of property out there selling these parts, and he also stores people's cars, and he quoted me $80 a month to store a car if I want. So that whole thing I was talking about like maybe a month ago with Keith in that EK sedan, now I have a place to put it. So I just have to find a way, you know, how I'm gonna tow it over. But now I have a place to put the fucking sedan when I get it, if I get it. $80 a month isn't too bad, especially when I don't have any more secondary bills like the tool carts and shit anymore. That's actually, it'd be less than my tool bill was a month. It'll be half my tool bill a month to store a car. I'm not in a rush to store another shell though at the same time, so I'm debating on what to do. But the thing is, now I have a place where I can put another car if I find a car that I'm just like, oh fuck, I can't pass this up or whatnot. Or if I'm moving along fast enough with my project that I think that this project's gonna be done, I can sell it. But at the same time, the way I feel about the cars is the same way I feel about the engines. I don't really want to sell any of them. I really wanted an RSX for years and years and years, and now I'm going to have one. And I really wanted an Integra to daily drive for a while, and I'm going to have one. So I don't fucking know. I really don't know what I'm going to do with all this shit. But the fact is that I have options is a great thing. So there's a possibility what I might do is these projects that I have lined up to build, I'm probably going to blitz into these, knock these out, and I'm going to kind of chill for a little bit and not build any engines until I get these moved and I get numbers back. And maybe, like I said, I really wanted a team to sponsor down here, but it seems like people just don't have the extra money because I can't do everything. I can't give you a shell, I can give you an engine, a turbo, and tune. So I need somebody with that's going to be able to make a commitment to this shit at the same time if I'm going to get this off the ground and running to make a team, you know. I guess it's the same thing like with what Jesse and all the guys done for me. A whole bunch of dudes chipped in to give me stuff to make this engine, right? You know, King's Racing Performance, or King's Racing, Scat, CSS, and Nippon Racing all jumped in. That's 4 different people that throw me shit to get this engine built. And this engine is built, but they didn't provide a shell. I had that myself. They didn't provide a turbo kit. I had that myself. They didn't provide a head. I had that myself. There's just a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. They gave me everything I needed for a short block. I had to do everything else myself. And I'm not complaining. That's no problem. But it's just that, you know, if I'm going to fucking sponsor somebody and I'm going to give you a complete short block to run, you know, I need you to come up with the rest of it. And preferably in a timely manner. I mean, I've tried so many times to give out free engines, you know, and the only time that I got a return on it was fucking with my homeboy Blake. He got his car running, tuned it, and then sold it. You know, yeah, whatever. So I guess I'm done. I wanted to keep it short. I didn't. My bad. But you know, I like talking sometimes. So here we go. And I'm just happy to be coming out of the black hole of being broke and moving forward with all this shit. And yep. So if you're interested in getting an engine off me right now, man, and you really want to know what I'm making, watch the last video. I'll leave it in the credits thing. The video should pop up on probably this side. Alright guys, thanks for watching, man, and peace.